Hello, post-university esports fans. Warren Jungle Guide Hammond here, excited to bring you the action again tonight for your post-university Eagles. Currently, they are sitting at 1-2, going up against Stockton, also sporting a 1-2 record. So both of these squads, both of these teams, looking to get back to 500. We're going to be starting things off on Lijiang Tower. Teams are getting set. You're going to have your post-university Eagles in the yellow on the left side here. We got the same squad we had last week. Vero. It's now pretty much at least semi-permanently moved over to the DPS. Papa Geppetto starting out on the Orisa. They're going to take this high ground, look to drop. Stockton's going to have control over the point initially, so Post University going to have to try and figure out how to get themselves in, and it's not going to be an easy process to say the least. Papa Geppetto taking a bit of damage right out front here. Forced to use Fortify, a lot of damage going in. Vero drops back just a little bit on the Echo, but taking a lot of damage. Fortunately, Torero goes down. Tracer, Oru, being a little bit of a pest, being a little bit of a nuisance in the backline. So without that extra DPS, Post University just gonna have to wait, just gonna have to make sure they stay alive here while they're continuing to stage and waiting for Torero to get back. They're actually looking for a flank right now. They're gonna be able to get out of that if things start to go sour. Things look a little rough. Unfortunately, Vero this time going to be the one who meets their demise, able to stay alive this time around. Oru picking up their second kill of this match, only the second kill of the match as well. So putting in a lot of great effort. The big anti-nade that went on to the King, forced back by Papa Geppetto away from the rest of their team. But it's not going to be enough to turn the tides. And with Papa Geppetto going down, that fight is over in favor of Stockton. I like the way that Post University it just kind of held their ground there, held that space. Papa Geppetto did a good job of just making sure that they were going to stay alive and hold that space, not give anything up so they didn't have to reclaim it as Torero got back. But now we're looking at a couple of big ultimates coming up. Unfortunately, Papa Geppetto bites off a little more than they can chew. Vero swapped over now to the Torbjorn. In the meantime, the rest of the squad over here on the left side of the map. Bubblegums gets an amazing 2K with that Coalescence. The ultimate's built up now for Post University. We do have the overclock. We've got the nano boost as well. Those in combination could be absolutely devastating. The body shot will take someone out after a few hits with the primary fire. Here comes the ultimate from Torero. We also have Terra Surge coming in. Torero is able to find one. Jojo goes down right after that, though, unfortunately. And now, Papa Geppetto trying to push away the ultimate wielding Ramatra. The King just will not die. The rest of the team is gone. So all this right now is doing is building up some ultra at tier 4 Post University, so they have to be happy about that. Overtime will go away as Post University gets their first possession. And this is fantastic too, because Jojo did a fantastic job of holding on to this ultimate. They're going to have the nano boost available here, which they're definitely going to need, considering Glitch is going to be looking pretty hard to find some value with this overclock, but taking a lot of damage to the side. And Torero, as a matter of fact, able to take them out. Torero being well aware that that flank was probably on Glitch's mind. We got to swap over to the Diva now, which I think is going to prove interesting. So now Post University going to want to look to get the King out of that max just about as quick as they can. Here comes Glitch's ultimate, though. This is going to be problematic, but a big spear landed by Papa Geppetto pushes them out of the Molten Core, but denies the point, more importantly. Now 50%. And again, Jojo's still managing to hold on to this nano. This is fantastic. They're going to have it again to use in this next fight. Post University needs to win 2 more or 1.5 slow ones. Just kind of depends on how Stockton is going to take this fight. The big push coming in from the King, Vero. Now the Torbjorn seems to have found some footing with this. Rebel Burner does go down though, so now it could be problematic for Post University. They cannot afford to make a mistake. Papa Geppetto goes low, needs to use their ultimate force to stay, but Torero coming in with the hero plays. Finds 3 at the last moment with the overclock, and that is going to give just enough time for members of Post University to get back. Aura swapped over to the legs. That's going to mean they're going to be able to get to point. So now it's going to be Post University trying to survive this without the help of their tank. And so far, so good. We got 2 players down. Torero forced to back off just a moment. Rebel Burner down once again, but still things are looking up. Things are looking good for the Post University Eagles. Vero with the Molten Core, denying the space, denying entry, denying the lives for Stockton. And that will be the first sub-map going the way of Post University. Some excellent adjustments came out from Post during that first sub-map. In particular, I love that we saw Vera. She swapped over to the Torbjorn. Got a lot of value there. That was a fantastic move, especially with the Molten Core. I love Molten Core for just denying space on a point, especially when you're looking at an overtime fight. It can be very, very important. It can be very influential, very pivotal, shall we say. So now we move on to Control Center. This point, definitely a little bit more Brawl favored. Not that the last one wasn't, but more so Brawl a lot of times is kind of your only option here when you play Control Center. At least much less likely to find. They're playing someone else. Glitch has gone over to the Bastion now, so that's going to be a lot of damage coming in that Papa Geppetto has to be concerned about. You got to make sure they stay alive, but also the rest of the team. So positioning going to be very, very important here. Glitch actually taking a lot of damage now. Papa Geppetto doing the same, so forced to back off just a little bit. Torero trying to see if they can get some nice rails through here, but Aura is going to be able to take out Geppetto this time right off the bat, and now Jojo getting chased down pretty heavily by the rest of the squad. Torero still looking for a kill. They get one in the end. It's going to be Vero who helps with that. So, Post University has an opportunity here to potentially swing this in their favor, especially after a shot like that coming out from Torero. But Herbal Burner going to be getting back to the fight a little bit late. So, Post University doesn't necessarily have that opportunity, have that option anymore. Papa Geppetto swapping over to the Sigma now. They have to take this at more of a distance. This fight, that is. Papa Geppetto doing a great job zoning away some of that healing. Looking now. Oh, a beautiful accretion. Takes out Bubble Gums, who just have to be crossing in front of the Bastion. I don't think that Papa Geppetto was necessarily even aiming for them, but you know what? The value is there. The pick is there. I don't think they're going to complain. Papa Geppetto actually popped off right there on the Sigma. Several very big, very important kills. Most importantly, now Post University has some ultimates to work with here. Torero was an absolute terror with that overclock last time. Vera again has the space denying Molten Core, but she's going to need to make sure that either the King is out of the way or doesn't have their defense matrix up. We do have the swap from Oro over to the Sombra, who's forced to go out of the fight very, very quickly, very early on. Papa Geppetto scores a nice accretion, but that's going to be a self-destruct. Could be problematic. Does find Vero, but in the meantime, oh, Glitch has found another. Could be problematic here for the Eagles, but Torero pops their ultimate once again, finds 2. 45% on the board right now. What looked like it might have been a lost point here for the Post University Eagles is brought back to life by Torero, who has just been absolutely astounding on the Sojourn today. That overclock has been a pivotal ult in multiple fights now. So, able to also suss out Oru over on the coast here. Eyes are going to be on Jojo this time because that amplification matrix could be good, especially if Papa Geppetto is able to get them into, get the opposing team into a gravitic flux in view of that window. Glitch's ultimate falls a little short. Papa Geppetto finds them. In the meantime, 78% and counting. The res does come in. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult for the moment, but huge pick coming out onto Froth Spikes. Unfortunately, Torero gets focused down this time by Stockton. The King now over onto the Ramatra once again, trying to make things happen. Papa Geppetto finds themselves back at spawn. Post University, I think, is going to have to be content with backing up, giving some space here, and allowing Stockton to take control of the point once again. One thing that I think has been fantastic that I've noticed over the last couple weeks is just the ult economy from Post University. They're doing a good job of not over-investing in certain fights. We see JoJo has held on to their ultimate. Vero, she's got her Molten Core once again, and now has less to worry about as well with that Molten Core, considering that Ramatra is going to be the tank they're going up against. Big window coming out from JoJo to start things off. Already gets one pick. Looking to see if they can put a lot of damage now into the King, but the Mercy is keeping them up. The focus needs to perhaps switch over in that direction a little bit. Great use of the shield left by Papa Geppetto to make sure JoJo stays alive. They got 2 picks. Nobody anywhere close to touching. Post University takes Lijiang Tower. And yeah, Torero, I think, well deserved. Very, very well deserved.
This ends now.
Play of the game coming out here. Could be one of the earlier examples of the overclock just finding incredible value. All right, chat, we're going to throw to a short break while the teams get set for the next map, but don't go anywhere. We should be back very soon. To King's Row we go. It is back-to-back classics here. Week number 4, the ECAC. Currently, your post-University Eagles sitting with a little bit of a lead, 1-0. After a fantastic showing on Lijiang Tower, things were looking a little bit dicey to start, but they were able to pull it around. Pull it back to a good spot, and take the win. That first... The very first sub-map went to overtime before Post University was able to get. At that point, sealed away. Vero is up to go back to the Echo. She's going to have a Mercy Pocket on with a Herbal potentially here and there, but at the moment, it's Torero who's getting the pocket. Glitch going to be on the Echo as well, but Glitch is not going to have that Mercy Pocket potential. So that's definitely a plus here for the Post University Eagles. Currently, Torero, though, trying to duel. The Echo goes down. They're able to find the other one, Papa Geppetto, here on the Sigma, trying to duel this Reinhardt, which that's going to be a difficult duel. Reinhardt's going to have a lot more pushing power, a lot more staying power. Papa Geppetto's going to have to be cautious about backing up and kiting, which we see them doing right now. Fortunately, the King just walks straight past Papa Geppetto, hits the back line. JoJo's taken out. Now the rest of the squad pushing forward. Papa Geppetto has to back away once again. Rebel Burner is there with the pocket. There is a potential here for Post to push in if they want to try and recontest here, but it's going to be difficult, especially considering walking on people is not what Sigma wants to do, and Reinhardt, the King, would be very happy if, in fact, that's what they did. So, Post University lets them have the point. They're going to look to play here at Arches, which can actually be a very, very strong hold. But again, Papa Geppetto's got their work cut out for them, because the moment that the King decides that they want to start moving, they want to start walking, there's not going to be a whole lot to stop them. Papa Geppetto starts with the Gravitic Flux, finds a couple in it. Sound Barrier's going to be there. We do have the Valkyrie coming out now from Herbal Burner. Doing their best to keep the team alive, get some extra damage in there. Bubblegums does go down, so now it's going to be a lot harder for Stockton to kind of back up, disengage. Ferrer does go down, but not without taking out the King first, and with the tank down, it's going to be a lot easier for Post University to stabilize here, which they in fact do. It's going to be a nice exit pick from Vero. Vera does have the duplicate here. This could be a pretty impactful ultimate. Eyes are going to be on her. We get things started. JoJo has theirs as well, though. Sunburst could be very, very brutal, especially if... Oh, nice. Vera's able to get the duplicate onto the Ramattra. Goes down very low. Forced to use their shields to stay in the fight. Does get taken out of the duplication by the focusing beam from Glitch. And now... Torero finding their footing once again, getting chased out by Glitch, though, who does take them down. The cart still moving, though, especially since the King powering behind it. Toss is going to have their coalescence here, and that could be just enough to push them through. Finish capturing this point, because Post University, unfortunately, didn't necessarily get regrouped the way they needed to. Oru falls right after that, and in fact... Toss might not even need to use their ultimate. Here comes, though, Sunburst. JoJo does take out Bubblegums. That's going to be big. Again, that ability to disengage is now gone. The card has stopped, momentarily at least. And Post University, now on the aggressive side of things.
This ends now.
But here comes Oru with... the overclock. They've already found one. Make it a second. They're uncontested on the high ground. Beautiful shots coming out. JoJo now the target of their aggression. JoJo gonna get the better of them with a nice headshot, but the King eventually finishes them off. Point will be captured. Right now, Post University is having a hard time kind of stabilizing here. We do see Papa Geppetto now swap onto the Orisa. hoping to provide a little bit more staying power in the face of the onslaught that the King and the rest of Stockton are bringing. And they've got quite a few ultimates to do things with. Glitch, though, does lose their footing, so that's a moment of reprieve here for Post University. Sandberry are going to be used aggressively to see if maybe they can make up a little bit of space, but a beautiful javelin coming out from Papa Geppetto pushes them back. The King will go down, but not before they claim one. It will be Herbal Burners. Without that healing, things are looking rough, and Oru will not be denied these last few kills. So 3 minutes on the clock, but now Post University only has one more place to post up their defense here. And again, Toss has this coalescence. This could be all that Stockton needs to push them through to the end. So Post University needs to turn this around, and they need to turn it around now and in a big way. Duplicate comes out. Glitch now on the Orisa as well, looking to get a Terra Surge. If they can get that with this coalescence, that could be huge. Papa Geppetto, though, takes the King down. And in the meantime, nothing to be done. Glitch does find the Terra Surge, but it's gonna be for naught as Papa Geppetto counters with one of their own. It takes them out. Now looking after the Lucio. Can they finish off Bubblegums? Beautiful stagger right here. Papa Geppetto does not want to let him go, but is going to play it safe. Uses the Fortify to back off, get some space. Or rather, give up some space. Need to do it, though, because the stabilization had to happen. And to be, once again, a Torero who's been doing a wonderful job. But Glitch is actually causing them a few problems here. They're going to go ahead, pop their ultimate. A lot of damage done. They do eventually get Bubblegums. They weren't quite able to get Glitch, but they still have their eyes on them. They know the threat is there, and JoJo says, don't worry, I've got it. Also, what I got? An ultimate. Ready to go for this next fight. Is this one is done and dusted. Even though Stockton is pushing the issue, that's only going to cause them pain. And what was a 3-minute time bank? By the time this fight really starts in earnest, is going to be down to a minute and a half. But Oru finds Vero, who goes just a little too forward. Herbal Burner not going to be able to get that resurrection. So, going to drop back. Again, yielding a little bit of space, but a big rail shot comes in from Oru. This is devastating. The res is in, though. Herbal Burner gets Papa Geppetto back into the action, but at the cost of their own life. Is it going to be worth it? Because now Papa Geppetto is down. Minute and 20 left to go here. And things are starting to look a little bit dicey. JoJo might need to be the hero here, but just with a sliver of HP left, pops the ultimate, gets denied. If Post University can get this under a minute, that's going to be an ideal situation for them, especially if they can finish with over a minute. And now, a lot happening here. Big coalescence coming in 50-some seconds. 53, as a matter of fact, going to be on the clock, left by Stockton. So, a little bit of a rough showing here from Post University. They had a lot of problems stabilizing, especially in the streets phase. They did a good job of kind of holding on to a lot of space right after they gave up first. I like the fact that they did that. They didn't push their luck. Right? They didn't try to recontest when it probably wouldn't have worked out. I like the Orisa. I think that was the right move to make, and I think the team felt that too towards the end there. So Post University need to cap all 3 points, hoping to do it in over a minute.
Ready for battle.
And Oru now on the Mei. That could be a lot to deal with. Because Oru's going to be looking to isolate Papa Geppetto, most likely, as they come through this choke here. Fortunately for Post, Papa Geppetto is going to have quite a bit of sustain. Just being Orisa, if nothing else. Everybody looking at the emote here from Oru. Let's take a peek now at our Eagles. As Vero, she said, you know what, we're gonna go with the Ice Queen Mei as well. Why not? Let's see how this goes. Papa Geppetto should be aware now that there is a Mei on board. Mei's actually holding pretty far back, so Papa Geppetto might be able to get through this relatively unscathed. Now Mei is still pushing forward. Shield is out now. Yeah, Papa Geppetto tries to bait the wall, doesn't quite get it. great sustain, or great patience there being shown by Oru. Oru actually kind of isolated now, but they fought back with the rest of their team. Papa Geppetto's gonna need to take some space here relatively soon. As soon as this Bastion ability is down. Yeah, and looks to try and bait the wall, but doesn't go for it. And they need to do it soon, though. Vero just about has their Blizzard ready to go. In fact, several of the members of Post University do. Oru, again, pushing kind of aggressively. That's a big wall there from Vero. That should be an opportunity now for Post to push in, which is exactly what they do. Beautiful job taking out Glitch. The Blizzard already from Vero. I mean, that is fast. That is very, very fast. A couple lessons coming in now from Toss, but it's not going to do any good, especially in the face of this tree from Herbal Burner. Papa Geppetto goes onto the high ground. Drops down as soon as they see the King there as well. Torero forced to use the overclock too, but it was all worth it. Took up a little bit. They did get, in fact, get the point. Or just swapped over to the Junkrat now. Which could prove a it could prove a pretty interesting adjustment. Ooh, Torero bit off a little bit more than they can chew, or finds them with the concussive mine. Papa Geppetto and JoJo could combine for a pretty impactful ultimate here. Papa Geppetto pulls everybody in with that Terra Surge. JoJo gets Sunburst on it, and then, at least in theory, everybody dies. There's not really a sustained ultimate out except for Bubble Gums, but if they can get the hits in before, kind of in between those pulses of healing coming out from the tree, should be able to take this. Papa Geppetto, again, having a hard time taking space. There is a lot of damage coming in. Papa Geppetto has a lot of work cut out for them. They have to be careful about the Junkrat. They also have to be careful about the May. They don't want to get isolated because that's just a fight loss right there. Papa Geppetto goes in. They go for the Terra Surge. Don't stay alive for it, unfortunately, but JoJo comes out with their ultimate as well. Oru finds one, though. Big tire. Vero taken out. But that was 4 ultimates expended there for Stockton. So now, Post University has an opportunity here to really push forward, but they don't have exactly any ultimates of their own either. They are gonna, well, no, take that back. Vera's got the Blizzard now. Aura's actually being a menace on this Junkrat right now. Somebody needs to deal with him, otherwise this is going to be very problematic for Post University. They throw in a little bit more damage. Herbal Burner takes a lot. Papa Geppetto caught in the mine. Gets a little bit of shields from it. Big Blizzard, though, in the meantime, behind. Vero unable to convert into any kills, though. She is on a solo mission. It gets the ice block in time, but in the meantime, Oru trades out. But that's actually only going to favor Post University. They're going to be able to push forward now. Pretty effectively because they know they're going to get their player back first. And with Glitch now having used their tank configuration, it's going to be up to the King to try and hold onto this space. Vero almost gets them with that wall. Here comes the overclock now from Torero once again. Takes a little bit of damage on the flank, but it's not going to matter because that point is just about as good as capped. Tyre coming around now, looking for 2. Finds 2. That is huge. That might turn things around here for Stockton. This fight, this battle is not over yet. The King holding onto the space just as well as they can. Torero looking for the flank. They know that Oru's out there. They find them. They're able to get the pick. Vero's down. It's just the tanks and Torero. But the supports, everybody else from the team going to be back first this time from Stockton. So now, Post University has to back up. And they're going to be pushing into 3 potentially devastating ultimates here with 1.5 minutes on the clock. Post University going to need to be very efficient with how they use their time here. Ferreira going back on the flank. JoJo once again got their ultimate ready to go. Could be one of the difference makers, especially with the Gravitic Flux, if they can time these well. But once again, Papa Geppetto having just a hard time getting the space that they need. Torero on the flank takes a bit of damage. Papa Geppetto now trying to push forward once again. Gonna use the leaf. Here comes the Gravitic Flux. Torero's got one. But somebody needs to deal with Oru up top because Torero's taken out by them. The Gravitic Flux doesn't get anything, so now the King with the Annihilation. Gonna push forward pretty aggressively, but it expires. This is a moment of opportunity here once again. Big wall coming out from Vero. Is she gonna be able to capitalize on it? No. What a tire coming out from Oru again. This Junkrat has been tremendous. Oru has been a thorn in the side of Post University this entire match, but right now, especially on the Junkrat, Oru is absolutely shutting the Post University Eagles down. 20 seconds left to go. Somebody has to touch. Oh, and look at this. Herbal up on the high ground. They've been spotted, though. They had an opportunity potentially for the touch. Now they're trying to push forward so they can potentially get it. Torero now on the flank looking for the same thing. Somebody's got to get to the cart. It's going to be Herbal Burner there first. Jojo goes down. There's a tree on point from Herbal. That's going to help a lot with the sustain, but they got to get the kills. Oru is down. That's massive. That's one huge threat gone. It's a nice slide to get out of the way. Herrera finds the pick. They get the life grip. Papa Geppetto does go down. But Vero helping out. The sticky bombs land, and in overtime, Post University Eagles are going to capture the streets. It was tough. It took almost everything they had. They had to dig deep, but they got it. Herbal Burner's life grips have been very good as well. I've been very impressed with those. So now, no ultimates on the board here, but the King is putting up an insanely fast second ultimate here. This, again, could be problematic. Papa Geppetto about to have the Gravitic Flux. That could help stop it in its tracks. Might need to hold on to it from a defensive standpoint. Torero gets another pick. Here comes a tree, though, from the opposing Life Weaver. Once again, the King has that Annihilation out. Vero goes down. Papa Geppetto just trying to hold on to the space right here. 30 seconds left to go. This is going to be last by territory. Catches 3. Glitch. Oh, what a tire from Oru again. Oru has just been unstoppable. Post University has to find an answer for this Junkrat. 17 seconds left to go. Rebel Burner on the point, trying desperately to stay alive here. He tries to use the tree, but it's just focused down. 8 seconds left to go. Papa Geppetto gonna try and get the charge in, but oh no, the trap, the junk trap. It's gonna be just enough to stop Papa Geppetto. They almost touch point, and with that, the series is tied at 1 apiece. And honestly, off the back of some phenomenal plays by this person right here, Oru. The tires were tremendous. Just the off-angle flanks were tremendous. The traps were huge. They were getting value out of every single piece of their kit. And this is a player that's looked scary in multiple kind of different contexts here today. And that was arguably, I think, the scariest they've looked. So we're going to throw it to a break. This one's going to be a little bit longer, about 5 minutes or so for the players to stretch their legs, get some water, do whatever they need to do. Don't go anywhere, though. We will be back in just a few. Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Ready for battle.
It's going to be the canals and waterways of the Rialto, where we find ourselves next. Post University, going to be on the defense first this time. Papa Geppetto again on the Orisa, which has been working well. I feel like this has been one of the better looks just going up against this Stockton squad in particular. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that totally backwards. This is going to be Post University on the attack to begin. Again, Papa Geppetto supporting the Orisa, the battle cattle. Gross first order of business on Rialto is just making it over this corner, over this bridge unscathed. Fortunately for Post University Eagles, nobody there necessarily going to have any boop potential. Glitch now in the tank configuration. Art does find Torero. That's gonna make things slow things down just a little bit here for the Eagles, but they did make it around that first kind of critical corner. And a grenade gets used as well by Bubblegum, so once Torero is back in the action, Post University should be able to push forward pretty effectively. Torero actually taking this big off angle right now, looking for some value. Going back on that angle, ducks out briefly. Oh, what a shot. That's gonna open things up. I love that tactic, right? Like you sometimes you flank, you escape, you make people think you're moving away, and then you don't. That's a nice sleep onto Papa Geppetto. He's gonna force out the Suzu as well. So that Post University gonna have a difficult time moving forward because they don't have that to help them if things start to go awry. Fortify has to be used as well as the Javelin Spear. In fact, that's going to be all the abilities out now for Papa Geppetto as they try to just hold on here. But JoJo, in the meantime, is building Kitsune Rush. This could be used to great effect, especially considering they've got the Terror Surge coming up. But now that Herbal Burner has been set back to spawn, things probably going to slow down once again for Post University. Torero, though, opens it up. It's going to be a nice rail shot. Yeah, here comes the Kitsune Rush alongside the Terror Surge, so it's going to open this wide. The King now trying to back off furiously. It's just the tank and a couple of supports. Make it one support, make it one support, no tanks. Post University, they collapsed right there, which I really, really like to see. In the past, I feel like there's been a little bit of problems kind of closing out kills, but that was certainly not the case right there. They were able to push forward very, very aggressively. Gonna be a Javelin Spear to disengage. As the point is captured. But right as that happens, Glitch finds a nice kill. Take out Torero, one of the big threats. Barrow, though, with a big Dragon Strike, knocks out Oru. Glitch falls shortly thereafter. And now backed by a Coalescence from Herbal Burner, Post University is just pushing forward, taking no prisoners. Big anti-nade, but Papa Geppetto has health for days. Health and armor for days. So they're not too phased about it. The King now trying to push back kind of aggressively, but there's also a soldier on the high ground here, Oru, and Oru does have the attack bias, so they're going to pop it right when they hit the ground. That's going to be 2-3 picks from them. Make it almost 5 to King steals the ace, but what a showing. I mean, Oru has been an absolute menace. Definitely the player that Post University has to watch out for. Fortunately for Post, though, they're coming in with a pair of ultimates. At Terra Surge Plus. Terra Surge Plus the Overclock. Gonna be Glitch finding Torero. Soldier has to duck down. In fact, it looks like, yeah, that's going to be Herbal Burner trying to take this duel right now. Forces the soldier back, but in the meantime, that's caused Papa Geppetto to get kind of split from the supports. Herbal Burner does finally make their way back, but now they front line a little unintentionally, and Glitch is happy to get that pick. Vero finds one, but it's going to be answered again. Papa Geppetto pushing pretty far forward. In the meantime, Oru still has not been dislodged from the back there. Jojo trying to make something happen here, see if they can get a headshot or two, but does not find it. So now Oru again. Just causing problems, and Papa Geppetto pushes forward just a little too quickly, a little too soon. 2 minutes on the clock, lots of ultimates to go, but Vero gets hit by a beautiful shot again from Oru. The Helix Rockets making their mark. If Post University can hold on to this Kitsune Rush, I think that's going to kind of be the ideal situation for them. They're going to open with instead 3 ultimates, but Oru already has 1 player down. They pop the tack visor again. Find 2, 4 this time. Are they going to get the 5K? No, this time it's Glitch who steals the ace from Oru. I would say just can't catch a break, but you know what? 2 4Ks in a row? You're doing just fine. Suppose University decided they need to kind of swap things up here a little bit. They're going to get a wholesale change. 3 players swap heroes. 1 minute left to go. Suppose University needs to win 2 fights here to capture this point. Oru is down. That is huge. Herrera is able to take them out of the equation. Now we got the overload coming out from Vero. Herbal Burner uses the Coalescence. Slight damage though coming in from Glitch. The accretion just barely misses. There's a lot of progress being made, but Post University again needs to convert these kills. The soldier is back. Papa Geppetto going down pretty low. Glitch though goes lower. Papa Geppetto still taking some damage. Needs to find a way to stabilize here. Shield's about to go down. And now they've got the King pushing forward with this annihilation. Oh, the sleep was huge. Or the stun rather coming out from the accretion, but it's not going to be enough. 3K this time for the King. Herbal Burner trying desperately. They're going to be able to get overtime triggered. Keeping it alive as long as they can. Nobody going to be able to touch though, so that is where the cart makes it. Also, what is up, Post University Esports? Hello and welcome. Appreciate the raid. Hello, hello. If you're just joining us, just got here with a raid. It is currently 1-1. That is the first half of Rialto. And right now the big story is Oru. If Oru is left unchecked, Post University does not find them, does not neutralize them, then Stockton is winning these fights. If Post University finds Oru, checks them, takes them out of the fight, either pushes them away, gets the pick, then Post University is winning the fight. It's all coming down to that.
Ready for battle.
Post University's got their work cut out for them on this defense. But they got a little extra firepower with them as Torero has opted for the Bastion this time around. That could be just what's needed to kind of nix the problem that is Oru. Torero is able to get a nice tank configuration. Catch Oru out on a flank or somewhere else. Could be all they need. I think a lot is going to be determined on this first hold right here as well. I'm hoping to see a big one coming out from Post University. It'll be Bastion v Bastion. We're actually going to get stunned right off the bat. That's a nice spear coming out. That's another thing I've been very impressed with Papa Geppetto is the spears. The spears hit more times than they don't. And they're usually pretty impactful spears as well. Yeah, Torero smells Oru over on the side. Papa Geppetto goes down though, bites off a little bit more than they can chew. Torero tries desperately to get something going. Finds bubblegums. That could be big. Ooh. Reinhardt goes in pretty aggressively, but they've got force behind them. They've got compatriots. They're going to be able to chase down the rest of Post University. Minutes off the clock, and now Oru has this high ground, which is the last place you want to let Oru get. Ooh, just looking to get the finishing touches here on Papa Geppetto. Gonna be able to make it happen. And with that, the first point is probably now effectively Stockton's. That was a late pick onto the tank, so now just need to try. Oh my gosh, Herbal Burner with a hero res. Oh, it's gonna be a Ryan v Ryan now. Glitch though, trying to help them out. That's a big pin. The King does go down. Papa Geppetto able to bring their team out, but 19 HP. Gonna have to back off pretty quickly. And honestly, Stockton doesn't seem to be too miffed about losing their tank at the moment. They say we've still got Oru. And that's something you got to deal with. Now their tank is back. Papa Geppetto takes too much damage. Didn't get their shield back in time. I think they thought they had it, but they didn't. Vero finds their demise as well. Big charge coming in, but King is sent to the beyond by a charge. And Papa Geppetto not going to be able to catch up with Oru right there, as much as I know you want to. In the meantime, Guerrero's gone. Found themselves a trip back to spawn. .409 on the clock. Hold has started. Papa Geppetto going very well toe-to-toe right now with the King. 5 ultimates right now in the bank for Stockton, though. This could be devastating. Glitch does find the turret. That's going to not be quite enough. Papa Geppetto charges in, and an uncontested shadow. That lays down just about everyone. JoJo tries to do what they can in the sky, but it's not going to be enough. And Stockton going to make it 2-1. So now, post-university, their backs are against the wall. They're going to have to dig deep.
Play of the game.
And yeah, Oru, second play of the game, I believe. And again, very well deserved. I mean, what, 2 4Ks in a row right here? This has got to be one of my... I believe this was the second 4K. Off the back of these tac visors as well, their positioning when they find the tac visor has just been phenomenal. So, we're going to throw once again to a short break. This one shouldn't be long as well, not the 5-minute one we had just a little bit ago. So, don't go too far from your computer because we're going to be back soon. When push comes to shove, we find ourselves in Toronto. Post University,
Ready for battle.
hoping that this is going to turn the tides in their favor. Bring us to a full 5. They're currently 1 behind Stockton Overwatch, who had a slow start to things. Post University did a phenomenal job keeping them at bay. A very convincing win, I would say, on Lijiang Tower to start things off, but ever since then,
One.
Hmm.
Objective unlocks in
it's been a little rough. Been a little rough for the Eagles. As we get set, Papa Geppetto back on the Sigma, going to be going up against the King on the Ramatra. And this Ramatra has also been pretty problematic. Papa Geppetto are already forced to do some of their defensive abilities. Mortality Field also has to come out. It's going to be Aura who falls first, though. Going to be traded out. That's a DPS for a DPS. And now, this time it's going to be Toreru with the pocket on the high ground here. Glitch has found another, and unfortunately, Guerrero and Herbal just unable to quite get the picks that they need. Herbal eventually falls, unfortunately unable to get out quick as they needed to. Vera going in pretty aggressively here. Torero does find Glitch, who has gone out a little bit aggressively to King, forced to use their Nemesis form as well. Could be an opportunity here to push forward, and in fact, that's exactly what we see Vero doing. Vero smells blood in the water, and that blood is from the King. Now, all Post University needs to do is just catch up to the point. Want to make sure that they get this captured before the butt scratch. You know, important butt scratch. Nice chase there from Vero. But Herbal Burner, in the meantime, has fallen. The fight still going to be won by Post University. So, Stockton almost gets it all the way to that checkpoint, but not quite. Which has to be aware of Vero kind of on that flank at the moment. I like JoJo on the Baptiste as well. Especially considering they've almost got a window. They have a window now. Probably going to be going up against Tosses. A couple lessons here. Vero does find Vero actually haven't seen play the Reaper very much, but getting a tremendous amount of value. Both DPS ultimates come out. That's going to win the fight, and that is going to give Post University not only the lead, but the first checkpoint. Big fight win there. And what's great about it, too, is it took a while, which meant that they only needed to win one fight in order to take the lead and to get the butt scratch. Or might try to contest here. There's up onto the high ground to try and prevent that from happening. Bubblegums does get the point, but they're not going to be able to hold off for too long. Oru, now with the duplicate, looking to see if they can get their ultimate out. And I spoke too soon. It was a cast of curse. I thought Post University was going to be able to get that point uncontested, but no. Stockton putting up quite a bit of a fight, but it's going to be too little too late, I believe. Oru does find one. Gravitic Flux now online. Halfway expecting it to be used right after this. Here it comes. The King going to be caught in it, as was Toss. King goes down low. Big Akrish going to knock him back. Ori, though, has found another in the meantime. But again, the lead is still Post University's. And Papa Geppetto will not die. Papa Geppetto is refusing to go down. Eventually it does happen, though, once the supports have been picked apart. So now, can Post University hold on to this lead? It's a big question. They just about burned out every single ultimate that Stockton has. Going to be able to use this Coalescence, though. It looks like Stockton actually going to be able to get the lead here uncontested. Stockton gets the point as well, but that's all right. It's going to give a little bit of a moment, a little bit of a reprieve here for Post University to kind of catch their breath. And Glitch just about gets Papa Geppetto, but some great shield usage. Gonna save their life. JoJo in the background trying to keep everybody alive furiously, doing a great job of it. Meanwhile, though, the point is still getting forward. Vero with a big Death Blossom. Guerrero gonna follow it up with Attack Visor, going head to head with Toss. Able to get that fight won. And this has been a very, very back and forth affair so far. DeKing, this is actually great for Post University. DeKing just staggered themselves pretty substantially. But this kind of back and forth the lead, I think, is going to stop here. Now we've got Oru once again on the Junkrat. So it is definitely going to be a problem. Definitely something that Post University is going to have to be very, very aware of. Pharaoh on the flank right now. Ooh, Oru just about has him. Now they've got a great shot here at Jojo, who is completely unaware, caught off guard. The flank is real. Ooh, Oru tries to escape, misses the jump, but still somehow finds their way out alive. And in the meantime, Post University not quite with the lead here, but Vero gets a big pick. That's going to be another for the DPS. He has to back off briefly. Papa Geppetto with a big gravitic flux that's going to find Bubble. And with that, Post University takes the lead. Beautiful stagger as well. There from Vero. Looking at this next fight, this window from Jojo needs to be big. If they can actually use it once Glitch goes into the tank configuration, if they are not close to any kind of cover, that could actually be the timing that you're looking for here. But Herbal Burner is down. It's going to be traded out, so 1 for 1. But with a support down, that's going to be pretty difficult to recover from, especially once the Riptires start coming out from Oru. Finds a pair. That's going to turn the tides once again back over to Stockton. 97 meters, though. We're getting very close to that kind of 100-meter point where lots of times that's all you need, right? You just need to cross that 100-meter threshold in push maps in particular to kind of secure that win, secure that victory for yourself. So Post University actually going to be able to contest here before the mid checkpoint, which means they should be able to keep their forward spawns. Herbal tries to go in for the res there, not going to be able to do it. Nice annihilation here used by DeKing to stop the res, to push forward, to get everything done that they needed to do. So now those forward spawns are gone for Post University. Torero does get Oru though on the flank. So that could be big, especially since Post University is going to get their respawns a little bit quicker. Ooh, Toss goes down low. The King with the body block there. Those Helix rockets might have been enough to finish off Toss. Guerrero now running away. Mortality Field goes out, saves a life. And now Herbal with a Valk. Attack Visor comes out as well from Torero. This has been pretty devastating, but a big sound barrier comes in from Bubblegums this time around to pretty much negate that attack visor. Torero does get the pick onto Oru though at the last moment. So again, that's if you're looking for a pick against Stockton, that's the pick you're looking for. Torero now on the flank. Oh, finds a nice Helix rocket onto Tusk. Doesn't quite get the pick in the end, but Papa Geppetto finishes things off. Vero is there to help as well. With a minute 43 left, this is putting Post University in a phenomenal place. But Oru again with the Riptire will not be stopped. Oru is just an absolute menace. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This entire map lives and dies by Oru, or this entire match. Ultimate's on the board for anybody. With a minute left to go, Post University has opted to just allow the bot to stop. Gonna have a flank on the high ground here. Leave. Nope. Ferrari eventually decides not to. Papa Geppetto on the point now. DeKing pushing pretty aggressively. They're gonna have the annihilation once again, so they just need to watch out for that. Well-placed accretion can put a stop to it pretty quickly. Bot's getting ready to get those forward spawns. Oh, what an accretion coming out again from Papa Geppetto. Sends Toss packing, but only for a moment. And in the meantime, Oru, who swapped over to the cast now, does find Herbal. They've definitely been finding value on anyone they've been on, but in particular, they've been exceptionally good with the Junkrat. Jojo now desperately trying to stay alive and keep their tank alive, Papa Geppetto, but able to do it. Toss gets the better of him. Papa Geppetto now looking to see if they can back off, perhaps. Oh, big ultimate comes out. That could be devastating now. Herbal comes in, goes for the res, gets it, but loses their own life in the process. They've got the Gravitic Flux. Are they going to use it? They're staring down 5 players. Glitch gets them. 79 meters left to go. Or rather, 79 meters on. Vero goes in for a big Death Blossom, but is denied by Oru. Torero now with the visor in front of the window, looking to get the kills. Just moments before somebody has to touch the point. They're getting pushed away, and that is going to be Stockton taking the series 3-1. What a showing from both squads tonight. This was very hard fought on both sides. Papa Geppetto gonna get the play of the game this time around. Unfortunately for Post, not the game itself, but it was a phenomenal showing, and I hope to see these two again. I think that would be just a stellar rematch. So thank you all so much for coming to support your Post University Eagles. Unfortunately for them, they're going to drop to 1-3. But again, it was a very good effort. This is a squad that I think has really shown a lot of progress. They found their footing, and they look better and better every week. So thank you all so much for tuning in. If you are here from the raid, stick around because we are going to raid the NBA 2K game, I believe, right after this. I believe it's still going. So I'm signing off once again. Warren Chucklegod Hammond, thank you so much for tuning in. And again, stick around for that raid. GG's. We'll see you next time.